consistent patronage, because there is a lack of consistent patronage. I don't think that perception's wrong. I also think, actually, you say, well, it's like real estate. No, it's not like real estate. You know why? It's a better investment than real estate. Looked at over time, art outperforms stock and real estate. I mean, not only blue chip, but as a whole, which isn't to say that if you buy a scattershot approach to art, you won't get a lot of crap that isn't going to go up in value, but overall, you'll get a couple Picassos along with something else. And so, people could think of it as purely investment, but the thing that is a little different than if you buy stock in Apple or Intel, you actually have to want to love the stuff that you're collecting. I mean, because A, a lot of it's not going to go up in value. B, you have the opportunity to live with it. C, you'll probably have a relationship over time if you're being a patron with the artist, which will enrich your life, I hope. But also, artists can get messy, and say, it's like if you buy some, stock in, Sunpack or Manfrotto, it's like you don't have to think about it. You don't have a relationship with that. But with art, you're like, you probably are going to end up going to art museums. It's like, oh, then you got to talk with people, and you might even have a good time. But I think people should do it. I think it's a shame, and it's actually, I've been on the board of a couple arts organizations. I'm on the board of the New York Foundation for the Arts now, and the patronage thing is at all levels in the art. I mean, it is a problem that in most arts institutions, including many that are very good with dealing and presenting culture that is reflective of black experience, including made by black artists, there aren't that many people on board that are black, which actually influences, again, who gets hired at the top of those institutions. What's the vision that they show? When they say, oh, you've got an opportunity to collect a really difficult, say, Wangechi Mutu, or you can get a really safe, I don't know, I don't want to hate on any sort of white artist or anything, but it's like something that's safe, that's not going to offend anybody. You can have a nice conversation, and everybody's going to be happy, and they're both going to cost a lot of money, and you're going to have a fundraising campaign to pay for it. Well, which do you choose? Or when your museum, gets some flack for having a show that, it's like, it's like my dream now is to say the next 3 Whitney biennials say, one has only women, another one has only black artists, and another has only artists that are like, Latino and Asian or something like that. Just like say, we think we can curate really rich, rigorous, interesting shows and not have to include any of the traditional. That would cause a huge stake. And they would be I think you could have really interesting shows, but do you have a board that's going to back your curators up for doing that? Well, if you haven't built that board over time, no. Which comes to patronage of, who are people buying, who are they collecting, who could you say, oh, you're wealthy, you should be on our board. If you're just wealthy for making money, selling magazines or something, you might not care or even know who Mickalene Thomas is, or Hank Willis Thomas, or Fred Wilson, or Glenn Ligon. And so you just got money. And so when somebody says, why don't you join the board of this museum, you'd be like, well, why? Or you might say, okay, I'll do it, but I'm not going to be an active board member.